David Menzies for Rebel News here in Mississauga, Ontario. And folks, what if I told you that there was an airport somewhere in the world that was telling members of the media that to visit the airport you had to give them advance notice of 24 hours. Oh, and that you would be followed around by a chaperone, looking at what kind of questions you were getting and what kind of answers you were receiving. Where would you think that airport would be? Afghanistan, China, North Korea, Cuba? No, it's right here. Toronto Pearson International Airport. As of today, Monday, October 3rd, these are the new rules at Pearson International. Starting Monday, October 3rd, a request form located on our website will need to be filled out 24 hours before sending crews to the airports, whether reporting from inside a terminal or outside on the curbs, lands, and roadways that make up Toronto Pearson. It's an automated form, so it shouldn't take much more effort than our email process than before, but it will likely give us info we need to approve or deny requests. But folks, I've been doing this shtick for more than 3 decades now, and I can tell you, any media outlet, any journalist could show up at the airport unannounced and start asking questions. 'Twas ever thus. We were doing that a lot in the early days of the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Nothing to say?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you asking arrivals from China if they have a fever or a coughing spell, sir?
Answer any questions.
You want to answer any questions? Isn't this the most important story in the world right now? But months ago, we received an email from the press office of the Greater Toronto Airport Authority saying that they wanted just to give them a heads up that we would be coming, and we obliged. And now it's 24 hours notice, and now you have to be followed around by a state-sponsored chaperone to, make sure you're not asking any impolite questions. But get a load of this, it gets worse. On Friday, 72 hours ago, I reached out and said, I'll be coming today. No response. And then on Sunday, I reached out again more than 24 hours ago, specifically to Ryan White of the GTAA, and again, no response. So am I to assume if you don't hear from the Media Relations Office that you are approved or that you're declined, in which case I guess I'm breaking the rules here, in which case I'm sure the police will be on us any moment now. So once again, we do have an entity, namely Pearson International Airport, with an entire communications team that does not communicate. Why are they even getting a salary? And if they had reached out to me, here are some of the questions I'd have asked them. In fact, I did send them in an email several days ago, but no response. Number one, what is the ostensible policy reason for these new guidelines? Number two, who is responsible for drafting these guidelines? Number three, why was this deemed necessary? In my career as a journalist, I and my colleagues have simply shown up to the airport to report on stories without any sort of consent. Why is it different now? 4, is this perhaps a response to the deluge of bad publicity Pearson has received due to being named the worst airport in the world? Number 5, what is the purpose of an escort monitoring the journalist's work inside the airport? Number 6, what possible reason would your team come up with to deny permission to a news organization to deny reporting on a story? And number 7, how is it even possible to abide by these regulations, especially the 24 hours notice stipulation when it comes to breaking news, i.e. a plane crash? So those are my questions. They've gone unanswered. And like I said, folks, this is a policy that simply should not be allowed to fly. It stinks, and I really do believe it is being enforced by the executive team here, who have had their corporate egos bruised by being named, by this airport rather, being named the very worst in the world. And by the way, that includes airports situated in the third world. Sorry, Pearson, we're kind of big on freedom of the press, And we are going to damn well show up whenever we choose to, especially when you don't even have the decency to get back to us, be it 24 hours notice, 72 hours notice, whatever. Reporting from Pearson International Airport, the worst airport in the entire world, I'm David the Menzies. Well, folks, here we are at Pearson International Airport, home to the newest merry band of censorious thugs. You see, Pearson wants media people to give them 24 hours notice when they show up to cover a story. They might deny you, they might approve you, who knows? Oh, and they're going to send an escort along with you, to monitor the questions you're asking. Yeah, sounds pretty Orwellian to me as well. In any event, we love to give you the other side of the story, the side of the story the mainstream media isn't reporting. So if you can go to rebelinvestigates.com, that's rebelinvestigates.com, and if you can chip in $1 or $3, we would greatly appreciate it.